Decentral Gamer podcast, where we want to help you become the very best gamers that you could possibly be. Today on the show, we have AudioKing, Mr. Daniel. How you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Super glad we get a chance to chat. I've been really excited to get back into the show here. Took a week off. And so now not only do we get to do episode 10, big number, double digits for the show, but you get to be on it with us. So it's super exciting, man. Would love to really start and kick us off by understanding a little bit more about you and your story of really how you got into crypto, and then from there, we could segue into how you really got into the whole DG ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started early on just loving to play poker when I was young. It was interesting. When I was like 7 years old, my dad would throw poker games in the garage, and I was like the guy. I was a little kid, the little beer runner boy. Every time somebody needed a beer, they'd be like, hey kid, hey Dan, hey Danny, like, come and go grab me this from the fridge. And then they'd tip me in like dimes and like quarters. Like it wasn't that much at all. But you're a kid, you're doing it for chore money. And when you're making $2 a week from grandma doing chores, vacuuming and mowing the lawn and stuff, like, a quarter here and a quarter there adds up, right? So that's kind of like my very first exposure to poker in general. And fast forward to like being 18 years old. Um, you know, I'm from Minnesota originally, so our casinos allow you to gamble at 18. So my friends and I, we got to go, play at some of the casinos there that were spreading Texas Hold'em, and it was like right around the time when Chris Moneymaker was blowing everything up on ESPN. We were excited about it. We'd go play like $2, $4 at the casino, and we'd bring like $50 or $100 or whatever we had extra for that week. And at first I wasn't very good, but I had this thing about me where I'm very like particular about a lot of things. I'm very specific, and I look really deep into like analyzing things. So I would keep track of every session. I would say, what stakes did I play? How much did I buy in for? What were some key hands? Did I get lucky, unlucky? Did I play poorly? And I kept a spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet, eventually I turned it into a chart, and it would like go down, and I was like, shoot, I lost about $1,200 eventually, until I started to kind of like turn it all around. And when I started to turn it around, I started beating the 2-4 game. I started playing the 3-6 game. I started going up to the 4-8 game, and limit poker was what was allowed in Minnesota at the time. They still don't allow no limit unless it's like a tournament. So eventually, like, that turned into, it was still fun. I didn't do it professionally by any means, but I like a challenge. I want to beat the game, So I went off to college around that same time, and I started playing with my college buddies, little $5 games here and there. And I went online and I started to like buy these like poker tail books. And I went on eBay. I was big on eBay back then. My dad and I had a car parts business for like 60s cars, 70s cars. We'd go to the junkyards, buy them, and sell them on eBay. So I found this guy giving this $25 book away for 99 cents on eBay, and I messaged him and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I want to order your book, but this is too good to be true. How are you scamming me? Like this, like I know there's something up. People just don't give away books for 95% off face value. He told me, he goes, listen, take the $25 you were going to buy this book with, use my link, deposit it into Party Poker, and I will give you an extra $25, and I will give you the book for free. And I said, okay. I still don't understand what's going on. He says, Party Poker pays me like $75 or $100 or something. And he says he takes half of it and he goes and he invests it into finding people like me. And so he makes money by just giving away these things for free. And I thought it was genius. Before I knew it, this person ended up becoming my mentor. and teaching me how to do that exact same thing, I turned it into a massive internet business, doing affiliate marketing. So like I didn't own the casinos, I didn't launch anything, I didn't, like have any like really no say in what's going on. But when I sent players, they would compensate me. So I turned that into a full-time business. Well, eventually I founded a college card club. I made some really good money from that business, and I moved out to Las Vegas, which is where I'm at right now. Like at the Bellagio right here. I've got Vidara over here. The Aria is over here. So that's where I'm doing my podcast from today. And so moved to Vegas, started playing No Limit, $1, $2, the small stakes that they offer out here. And then I quickly went from the $1, $2 games with a $200 buy-in to the 10, 20 games with a $5,000 buy-in. And that's just, kind of how I progressed in poker as it was. That was around like 2007, 2008. And fast forward to like 2010, 2011, I'm, living in the same place that I am right now. And some of my friends were on Silk Road. And if you know anything about crypto, Silk Road is why you had crypto. You were out there buying things on Silk Road and you needed to get Bitcoin.
Right.
So I got really early exposure to Bitcoin. Like they were paying like $18 for one Bitcoin. And, like over the course of time, it was like $80 and then it was $200 and, everybody was partying and having fun. And, we had like this, like a collective wallet almost, like where one person would collect everybody's money, turn it into Bitcoin, and then they would go out and get whatever was needed or asked for. I think at one point the group had a collective like thousands of Bitcoin somehow. Excuse me. And, the group kind of like fell apart after time. We went to EDC. We had some fun. And, like I didn't really contribute much to that whole thing myself. But I went out and I started buying my own in like 2012, 2013. And I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. Like, hey, I can go buy hot dogs, at this Bitcoin hot dog dealer down the street. There's a German cafe here called Cafe Berlin in Las Vegas where it was like $20 or $30 for the buffet, but you could pay them like 0.15 Bitcoin at the time. And you use your QR code and, Coinbase or whatever it was at the time. And then, okay, cool. Thank you for the Bitcoin. Here, go enjoy the buffet. So I just thought it was fun. Me and my friends would trade it. Some of my friends speculated it. They would go and buy it for, like I had a friend who bought it for probably $600 each or $800 each at one time. And it came crashing down. And then he was like, hey, Dan, I know you like Bitcoin and crypto. Would you like to I've got like 3.5 Bitcoin. Would you like to buy it? And the price was like $200 at the time. And I was like, sure, man. I'm like, yeah. I'll just meet you in the parking lot with $600. I'll just buy your 3 Bitcoin because I think it's cool and I have extra change in my pocket. So like I would do cool things like that. And eventually Ethereum came out, and the only things that were listed on Coinbase at the time, which seemed to be the primary platform, was Bitcoin and I think Litecoin. And then Ethereum came out. It was like, it launched at like $8 or something. And I started buying it at $14. And it just raged up to like 80 and then like 150. And then it would float between 100 and like 400 for like a while. And I felt so smart buying it at 100 and selling it at 300, and then like it didn't go back down where I could buy it cheap again. It just kept going back up. So, like I lost out a little bit on that. Like you get like FOMO, right? But yeah, still made money. And here we are with NFTs. And I have a lot of friends who are deep in NFTs, and I just didn't understand them for a while. And I was like, oh, it's a picture. Why would you pay $10,000 for a picture? Why would you? Yeah, like I don't get it. But I know that my friends are smart, so I didn't write it off. I just told myself I'm too busy with the businesses that I have right now, the investments that I have right now. I'm trading the stock market. I was a really big deal in the GameStop short squeeze. I was basically when Robinhood shut down the buy button for everybody on, I think it was like January 21st, 2020 or something like that, or 2021, whatever. I was in the BlackBerry building over in Irvine, California, and I was like, this is so messed up because I have a lot of GameStop. I was an investor in it early. I started buying it at, I don't know, $4 a share for GameStop. And today I think it's trading at like 150. And back then it shot up to like 500. But when they turn the buy button off and they only let people sell, like logic tells you everyone's going to sell. I need to sell before everyone sells. Like it felt like a pump and dump almost, like a manufactured pump and dump by Robinhood. So I'm over in the BlackBerry building and I'm an options trader. So I went and I figured out how to leverage and use options to buy the shares that they wouldn't let you buy. And I made this post on Reddit on Wall Street Bets, and everyone who saw it early was like, this needs to get to the top right away, upvote this, share this. And I mean, that post got millions of views, and you could see within like 20 or 30 minutes of me posting that, you saw a reversal of GameStop price going down to recovering. And if you do the math on that, it affected the stock potentially billions of dollars. You know, it's pretty crazy times. So I did that. And then now here we are back with NFTs. The first NFT I bought was a Bored Ape. I went straight to the top. I was just like looking at everything, and I was like, listen, like, what did my friends tell me? What were they interested? Why were they interested in it? And it was probably the easiest NFT I've ever bought was my Bored Ape. And it cost like $360,000. It was 100 ETH, and ETH was at 3,600. And it was like, it's very nerve wracking pressing that button. But once you do it and you start to learn about the community and, you know, what's driving it and why is it valuable? Like, I mean, it starts to make sense. And I started seeing Sandbox and Decentraland on TV, like, you know, like, oh, the Metaverse and 3D this. And you know, I said Jimmy Kimmel bought a Bored Ape before I did. I found Decentral Games by mistake. Believe it or not, I was logged into Decentraland, walking around, and boom, here is, you know, a gaming lounge, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, is this a casino? Is this a poker room? What is this? And eventually, I learned that it's play to earn, and that the structure of the multiple coins, the wearables, the access to the tables is structured in such a unique way from what I was used to growing up, and the business that I started, you know, in poker when I was, you know, 18, 19 years old, being an affiliate. I don't have to worry about players losing money to make money at this. So I found my interest, and I walked up to the table in the Metaverse in Decentraland, and I was like trying to tap the button, like, how do I get on this table? And I started having to research, like, oh, you need to buy this NFT to play. And then I learned, oh, you can delegate. So some people are out there delegating, and it just like the dots started to connect. And I don't even remember where I found him, but I think it was on Twitter. I found the Ice Poker God, and I messaged him, and I was like, hey man, like, I'm a professional poker player from Las Vegas. Like, I don't know anything about this. I just know that I want to try it. Give me like a day or two, however we got to hook this up, and I will play, and I will get to know this, and maybe I'll make you some money. Like, if it's worth my time, if I find out that it's worth my time and it can make me some money, then I'm just going to keep doing it. So he said, sure, no problem. Here's how it works. Delegated me, and I don't even remember what he gave. Probably a smoking jacket or something. You know, like some knowing him is like he probably gave me like some diamond hands cigar or something like that. And like I had no idea at the time. Like, okay, cool. And I think this was in like January of this year, so it wasn't even that long ago. But I went and I played, and I didn't understand the challenges aspect of everything. Like you have to, get a straight 2 times. You have to win the hand 10 times. Like that type of stuff is so new to me because I'm used to just play to win. Accumulate as many chips as you possibly can over time, make the best decisions. And so like I wasn't like my ranking's not I haven't played that much. I played like 4 sessions so far or something. Like my ranking is not great. Like I might have made him like 100 ice or something like the first session. And then the next session I could not complete the hard challenge to save my life. And I just gave up and I was just like, hey man, like I'm not gonna be like I'm sorry that this affects you. Like like you're $4 in ice or whatever. Like I'm sorry this affects you. I probably won't have time to continue playing. And he was like, really? Okay, cool, no problem. Like, thank you for trying, and I hope you had a good time. And he's very, very nice, very friendly. Um, and that was like a start of what I feel is like a long-term friendship or a long-term business relationship or something. Super cool guy. So like that was my first experience with ice. And sooner or later, I went out and I started buying my own NFTs, buying my own wearables, and then tried playing on my own for a week. And then I was like, all right, let me figure out how to delegate this. And I did. And then I just kept kind of like doing some math and figuring out, okay, cool. Like I can break even on this. If the values of all these cryptos stay where they're at, I can break even on it in like 6 months. So it made sense to me. And if my players are better than everybody else, like, if I coach them or something, um, I can have a big effect on their play, my play, and how much we can make. And it's an ecosystem where it seems like everybody wins. So that's how I started in poker. That's where I started in crypto. That's kind of my journey to where we are today. And at this point, I'm just trying to, take my guild and make it better and better and better, and contribute to the ecosystem as well at the same time. Like I'm very active on my Twitter. So if anybody wants to follow me on Twitter, I think it's like down here or something somewhere. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. We get chip dumpers every once in a while that we delegate to, and I'm trying to contribute to the community by sharing who those people are. Today I took action and I made a Twitter list. So if anybody wants to know who the chip dumpers are, I'm going to start adding their usernames to the Twitter list. All you have to do is subscribe to it. You can go to my Twitter, click on lists, and then find that list, and you can go down to all the members. So anybody that's just straight dumped chips, their names are going to be on that list. So that's going to help the wearable owners from getting ripped off by these people who are dumping chips to their own wearables or dumping chips to their delegated rank 5s or something like that. So yeah, that's something I'm doing right now. But I've been talking for a while, so throw some questions at me or.
Yeah, this is amazing. And what a great story. I feel like there are very, very few people who would have that kind of story. So thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to learn when you first started going from being more of a player and then you decided to get into more of the delegation side, building your own guilds, training your folks up. How did you go about building that out? I mean, did you just kind of get in there and figure it out, and or were you very like strategic and organized about it? Like, what was the process of actually getting in there and figuring that part out? And what have you learned in that process?
Sure. So over time, that process has changed because there's been a lot of like DAO updates with DG. For instance, when I first started getting in, it was 70% of the ice went to the players and 30% of the ice went to the wearable owners. And I believe that the wearables were priced at around 1 ETH or so at the time, and the math still made sense. And I watched the DAO votes as they came in, and I said, wow, okay, there's going to be a change where the wearable owners are incentivized to upgrade, and we're going to get more of that ice for ourselves. So economics told me the value of these wearables is going to go up because the wearable owners are going to, the ones who can afford a lot of these are going to start saying, I'm going to make this much more money on my wearables, therefore I want to buy more wearables. If the value of a wearable when it was 70-30 was 1 ETH, and even if it goes to 60-40, now you're getting a 33% more ice as the wearable owner. So you should think that a wearable equal value is 1.33 ETH. So that's a good time to buy. And a lot of people are following me on Twitter right now and think I'm crazy. They're like, what do you think about the wearables going down in value? And, why are you buying? And I'm like, listen, like the math makes sense. Like I feel like they're going down because a lot of people are trying to get ETH and get ICE for the next ICE wearable mint, which is tomorrow. 30,000 ICE, really cool looking collection. They're selling off out of fear, out of panic, out of maybe preparation. They want to make a little bit of ICE to try to get this new collection. I mean, if you're selling your wearable today for 1.1, you're not making any money turning that into ICE and then buying on tomorrow's mint, which is competitive. You might not even get it. When you sell on OpenSea, which is the only platform you can sell on, you've got 2.5% fee to OpenSea. You got, I think it's 5% fee to DG, and then you've got fees to move it from ETH to ICE, and those type of things. You got to move it all. I don't think you have to move it to the Polygon network because it's already on the Polygon network. But like you're spinning your wheels just to get a new wearable. Like it's crazy to see these people selling so cheap. I bought a lot of wearables this week, and like I kind of have like a little thing for the older stuff. I like to buy the party host collection, the linen collection, the ice suit collection. I just like them. The crypto drip collection, everybody seems to like. I'm like so on that, but like I see people trading. It just seems cheap. I don't know why people are selling, so I'm buying. And I'm one of the bigger owners. I'm one of the biggest non DG owners that there is, as far as I know. Ben one, I think, is probably bigger than me, and I don't know everybody's positions, but I've got a pretty healthy position, so that's something. And as far as like getting my players to be better, I've created my own Discord recently as well. I'm taking a new angle on it from what a lot of your other guild owners have done, which is just bring everybody. I make people work to get access. And I'm working on an NFT right now as well, where you have to own the NFT to get in, or you either need to own the NFT, or you need to be one of like my better players, or somebody that isn't going to waste my time sitting in there going, hey, please delegate me, please. Like beggars are not invited to my guild. Just like people can give me their wallet address and do all that, but like people who nag me on Twitter and nag me everywhere, like I just mute them. So I want to keep the quality high, and I want to keep people talking. Like I want them tossing back and forth, like, this is how you play ace king, this is how you play ace queen. Like, oh, I played this way this today. And some people are giving advice like, you should only buy in for this many chips, or you should buy in for more chips if you're better, or those type of things. So, and I chime in every once in a while. I'm very, very, very busy, but I try as hard as I can.
So when you're thinking about, it seems like you almost want like the elite of the elite in your Discord, in your guild. How do you initially screen them to make sure that they're good players? And then what sort of process do you have of quality control to make sure that they stay good and that you're able to kind of keep an eye and make sure everybody's doing what they need to do?
It's kind of tough to keep an eye on everything. But guild management is coming up in the software. I see the updates are coming, and that is something I'm preparing for. So I'm kind of always putting things out there to see who comes to the top. What, you throw a bunch of stuff in the water, let's see what floats. And there's some people that are coming back saying like, this is what I do. I have 5 wearables and I already manage these people and this is how I do it. And, if someone shows me kind of like a piece of me and them, like, oh, I have a spreadsheet and, I keep track of everything like this. I color code everything, or I check in with them twice a day, or I don't have a job and my job is sitting here and being in Discord and then finding players. Like, okay, great, cool. Whoever seems to have the best strategy is probably going to get that position. And I'm not against hiring a couple people to be my guild managers. It's getting to that point for me where it's a lot of time out of my day. I've built my system. I've systemized as much as I can. And now it's not about quantity anymore. I have 500 applications just from like the last like 2 or 3 days of people wanting to play. I will usually ask them questions. Like I have on my Twitter, I have in my bio, I have a link. You click that link and then you can go to my delegation form and you can sign up to apply to use one of my wearables. All of that information automatically goes through a form analyzer, goes into a spreadsheet that I've made, and then I take maybe an hour, 2 hours every couple of days, and I go through them and I just go, okay, is this person new to poker? Are they new to ice poker? Have they played on PokerStars? Have they played on ACR? Like, if they've played on ice before, I look and I see like, who was their last delegator? What happened? Why aren't they being delegated to anymore? Were they chip dumping? Like a lot of these chip dumpers will try to give you a story, be as honest as possible. Like, they throw you more information than someone new would, if that makes sense. So like, I'm not a chip dumper. I promise. I know how it works. I do this. It's like, okay, cool. Like, how do you know all this stuff if you're new to this game? And they always try to tell you like, please give me a chance. It's just like, okay, there's certain signs that I see that I just kind of like maneuver, and I don't mind giving people a chance here and there, but with my new Twitter list and just kind of combining forces with the other guild owners out there, creating like a blacklist of all the chip dumpers, not to mention the assigned seating. Once the assigned seating starts working in all of the, DG rooms, it's going to combat a lot of these issues. So yeah, things will be a lot more stable for everybody. And yeah.
So it seems like you really systematized it and gotten it down to almost like, it seems like you're almost like treating it like a real business where you're trying to minimize the amount of time you have to spend investing into it and still be able to perform and have the best people come in and hire people and do everything right.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And the new DG search tool for the premium guild owners is also another tool that I use. I like to check their weekly, their monthly, and then their all-time. I like to see what rank the wearables were that they were playing. I like to see over time if they went from a rank 4 down to a rank 3 down to a rank 2, and like where their leaderboard stats were at. It's all an ebb and flow to me. I know that if there's a guild owner out there that's reducing or downgrading them over time, there's a reason. And I know the opposite is true. If someone is out there and I see them with 5 wearables equipped, that, they probably are doing pretty good. And that's also when I ask them like, hey, why are you not still delegated by this person? Like, they give you like 5 wearables. Like, I don't give my players 5 wearables because I have so many people wanting to play. I want to give a fair opportunity to everybody. And from a mathematical point of view, for me, it makes more sense for me to have a mediocre player playing on another wearable than a great player to play 2 wearables because you get like 1.1x. You get like 10% more ice with your top multiplier for whatever top rank that they have. So like the math makes more sense to give more opportunity to play. I mean, if I can't find someone for some reason, if I get like 5 chip dumpers in a day and I'm just lazy or I'm on vacation, I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm just going to throw my best player all my wearables. Why not? You know, but that's like a lazy move.
So let's talk a little bit more about the math here, because I think that's a really interesting approach to it. What other pieces of math do you think you deploy into your thinking and approach that most other people aren't doing?
I mean, I've spent hours and hours. I probably spent like 10 or 20 hours. I built a custom spreadsheet, and everything that I put into that spreadsheet has formulas and it's calculated. And it's not something that I'm going to share with everybody, but you know, like when I'm talking to some of my delegates and they want to hear about their past performance, I like to try to go above and beyond what is actually shown on the search tool. I use Polygon Scan too. Like, let's see how much ice your wallet has claimed. Let's see if you have interactions with other wallets, because sometimes you can find your chip dumpers there, and sometimes you can find your really good players there. So, you know, before the search tool came out, that's what I was doing. I was going to Polygon Scan, and I was just like, I have a formula already where I put their wallet into my spreadsheet, and then it populates a Polygon Scan link automatically. I just click it in my spreadsheet. It opens directly to the ICE token, and it shows me the history of all their ICE transactions. You know, and so I'm like, okay, how consistent is this player? Like, maybe this player was making 250, 300, 400 ICE a day, but then for like 3-4 sessions, they just had a bad time. Mm-hmm. So I'll ask them about that. Like, you know, what happened in your life? Like, oh, I got sick. I got COVID. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Like, and I imagine when you came back, your delegator is gone. Probably undelegated you because he's not seeing any return from his, you know, I mean, these wearables are thousands of dollars each. Like, they have to be working for us owners.
Right.
You know, I had an amazing a delegate, and he was really consistent, and, you know, like, out of nowhere, he just disappeared. And I was like, sent messages, hey, hope you're okay. You know, maybe he's watching the show. Contact me. You know, and I didn't get anything back. So I'm like, you know, from a humanitarian point of view, I hope that person is all right. And also for some of my best players too, like, I throw them bonuses randomly. Like, hey man, like, thank you for checking in 7 days in a row. You know, like, I'll throw little challenges out there too. And it's something I'm going to do more of once I get more time. And I have my guild manager handling is, like, I'll have competitions within my guild. I have so many wearables. I can do that now. Like, whoever the best player is, like, I'll give them ice bonuses. We'll do leaderboards within the guild. And not to mention, these guild leagues are coming up too, where I believe everybody in my guild is going to be playing a part of that. And, you know, if we get number 1, everyone's going to win. You know, I'm going to share it with everybody. So, you know, I like to get people hyped up for that. Like, I want the best players to really enjoy being part of my guild. I don't want to just be like, a common complaint that I hear from these players is, I don't get a day off. You know, I'm afraid that if I don't play for a day, that my wearable owner or delegator is going to just take it away and not give it back. Well, I have a channel in my Discord that just says, like, time off requests. Just tell me you need 2 days off. Tell me, you know, DM me. I have players all the time saying, sir, I'm sick. You know, I'm not feeling well. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to play tomorrow. And I go, okay, cool. I go to my spreadsheet where I keep everything organized. I highlight their row and I turn them. I think my color for that is like, I don't know, orange. I do like a light orange, like, you know, red for me is the cheaters, the chip dumpers, whatever. Green is this person's a good player. Blue is currently playing for me right now. And then like yellow is just kind of like on pause, you know. Yeah, I guess yellow. And then orange is, I'm making a change usually. So like I keep it color coded all the way down. And I'll make daily changes too. So that's another thing I do to help myself is if certain players are starting to perform better than others, I will take and swap their wearables out. I like to be there at reset, like the minute it resets, whenever I can. Sometimes I'm not able. It's been a busy week. I haven't really been able to this week, but like if someone's performance is going down, I take them from like a rank 3 and I put them in a rank 2 or a rank 1 wearable. If someone's performance is going up and they're getting lucky or they're doing well, they get to go up the ladder. The better you are, the more you're going to make with my guild. And that incentivizes people as well. You're a good
I
player, you
love
get a
that.
rank 5, you know?
I love
So,
that so much. It seems
yeah.
like you're really taking a very calculated approach. Are these things that you've learned through your other businesses and just the other things that you've done, or like how did you come to take this approach?
So this is these skills are kind of like ingrained in me as a person. I'm just like being calculated. It's my personality. Um, I'm what they call like a craftsman or a virtuoso personality, which means that I can take things that are complex and I can take them apart and I can put them all together rather quickly, rather intuitively, and and I can do it even if I only get a 5% or 10% increase in whatever it is. I'm the kind of guy that likes to wash his car when it's a little bit dusty because it looks that much better when it's perfectly clean. So just being particular like that has helped me a lot in business, in life, and when we go back to the beginning of my story, when I started playing poker for the 2-4 games and I lost the $1,500 or $1,600, I know I can't keep losing forever. I'm gonna go broke. I got to either figure out a way to win or I got to quit. Like otherwise I'm gonna be stuck in the gutter my whole life, and clearly like I'm not. I'm doing pretty well. So being calculated, being smart, and being a real competitor has always given me that edge that I needed.
So
So yeah.
for people who may not, like, maybe they don't know that they're like that, or maybe they don't know what type they're like. How did you go about discovering that about yourself? Because I actually think that could be really, really powerful for players and guild owners alike.
Yeah, so there's a woman that I met at a conference called Traffic and Conversion Summit. It happens in San Diego like every year around March, around this time. And I think I met her like 5 or 6 years ago, and she founded a website called 16personalities.com. And what it does is it's a very in-depth version of what is, I think it's called like a disc test. You go there, you take this test. I think it takes like 20 minutes or 30 minutes to go through all the questions, and then it gives you a scary accurate answer of what your personality is. And it'll give you a few, like maybe 5 or 6 pages of really like the highlights and the meat of who you are. And then they try to sell you a package with hundreds of pages if you want to go more in depth. And it's absolutely worth it. It's great. But that's where I kind of like really honed in on like my personality. And it was interesting because it also helped me identify personalities that I was not compatible with. So I know in business that if there's certain types of people that are like, you know, working for me or working alongside me, how can I communicate to them and whether or not we are even compatible? There's certain people who like, one of the personality traits that I'm just not compatible with is called a campaigner. And I don't know, it's just like I've noticed a trend over time that they just don't stick around in my life. And it's they have an idea and then they go at it really hard and then they have another idea and then they ditch their old idea and they're like a ping pong ball. And like it's just my personality trait is just not like that. So that's how I learned about personalities.
That's huge. Do you make all of your players take that test?
I don't. I don't. maybe it's something that I will do with some of my players long term, but like really I don't see much relevance to make them do all that extra work to play poker. At the end of the day, in this game, get the most chips, be consistent. That's all I really care about. You know, I don't care if you're a male or a female. I don't care what race you are. I don't care where you're from. This this is from my point of view, this is business. And you know, if I undelegate somebody, it's business. You know, it's nothing personal. Um, you know, if people are having some personal issues in their life, I'll try to give them a little help. And like I said, I'm very, you know, open to listening. Okay, what's going on? Like, you need a couple of days off, no problem. Like, I try to be a good boss and a good leader. So it's a common complaint that I just hear from a lot of delegates that, like I said, they're scared. I don't want to miss a day. Listen, just tell me. I got 500 applications this week. I'll just put someone in your spot for a couple days. You know, they may not work out. They probably won't work out, you know, like, so I try to pick the top 10% out of those people.
That makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
at this point now, it seems like you have a great system. You are now moving to the point where it seems like you're looking to hire or continue to hire people to help manage and really help you scale this out or continue to scale this out. What's kind of the future that you see here? Like, where do you really want to take it? What's kind of the future path, future road for you here?
So I don't have any plans on like exiting this ecosystem for at least a year. Um, I feel like this is still so early, so new. The team behind Decentral Games is really strong, smart group of people. Um, they knew each other early on. They're friends. They're compatible. Like, I'm not hearing of any like crazy drama or any feuds. You know, the background that everybody has for the team is really strong. Um, you know, I've learned that certain team members wear a lot of hats, and I think that's really important in a business to, you know, be able to adapt quickly. Uh, and just like me, they seem to be very data driven. When they talk about the treasury, they talk about certain governance, they talk about, you know, different ideas of how they're going to move forward and why they're making those decisions and why certain DAO proposals exist. And, you know, like, you can also see that, like, you know, the DAO exists, but certain people have a lot more votes than other people. And, you know, those people are the right people to have those votes. That's how the voting system works. And I think it's really intelligently run. And I felt that since day one. They have, I'm looking at this project thinking I can walk up to a table, play some poker in the metaverse, and, you know, maybe there's big money here, and there's these stupid players with just tons of ETH from when they bought it in like 2015. Who knows? Like, that's what I was expecting. And then here it's like, you can't play unless you have a wearable. You have to burn our token to activate that wearable. You earn your daily income in our token. We use that token to burn it for more wearables, you know, and among other things that they're going to be using. You know, tournaments are coming up. Like, they're working on the Diamond Lounge. You know, we have a Diamond Lounge here at Caesar's Palace. You got to get a card. You got to play a certain amount of slots or whatever they do in casino stuff, and then you can get in the Diamond Lounge. They give you free food, uh, access to things that other people don't get, like you get free valet, free parking, all that good stuff. You get to a line pass. Like, I think that these guys at DG are kind of thinking along the same line, you know?
Yeah, I can just say, you know, working alongside some of the folks you're talking about, these people are amazing. I mean, these people are
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. It
Yeah.
really is. You know, I think we're all very lucky that they have decided to deploy their time and effort into this
Yeah.
because, I mean, they don't
Yeah.
have to. So I think we're all really lucky, for
Yeah. I
sure.
mean, you know, like, the wrong people behind this project could be like, okay, cool, we made $1 million, bye. Like, no, like they've got like 50, I don't even know what it is today, like probably 70 million or something in governance, and that's the tip of the iceberg for this type of category. At least I think so. And hey, maybe I get so involved here that I just go, hey guys, like you got an extra spot? I don't know, like I have major history in this industry from the early 2000s with my affiliate network, and getting into crypto early, and kind of revolves around everything. But I've got my eyes on some other projects too that are really interesting that have come up, and I'm going to be in this space one way or another with just these fun games and metaverse and Web3 with NFTs and crypto. Like I love all these things. So like it's all coming to a head for me, and at some point in the near future, I might be swinging around in a different way than just being a little investor. So who knows? Who knows? Like I'm very calculated. Like I have a lot of talent. I want to make sure that the space grows. I just love seeing the metaverse grow. With my Bored Ape, I got airdropped ApeCoin, recently. So here's something kind of fun. Kind of announced this for the first time. I went to the DMV today and I got the license plate ApeCoin. So I'm gonna go put that on my car. I'm gonna get it in like 6 weeks.
That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome.
I'll definitely be taking a picture and putting it up on Twitter. So
yeah, I was gonna say I can't wait to see that. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be fantastic.
I mean, I think as far as crypto goes, you have Bitcoin, and then you had Litecoin and Dogecoin were kind of like copies, but like the next big one was Ethereum, and after that you had all these other little coins like ADA and Solana's trying to make a run too. But like I think you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, and I think you have ApeCoin. I really think that it's like the next big thing. Just looking at the ecosystem and looking beyond just another ERC20. I think that what they did with their launch was incredible. They launched, and then you have all these major brands saying we're accepting ApeCoin. You can buy ApeCoin on our huge exchange, Binance, Voyager, Coinbase. Like I have never seen such a thing like that happen since Ethereum.
Well, and of course we also have DG and ICE as top coins up there.
Absolutely. For play to earn, definitely. Yeah, I've got a lot of it. I keep upgrading all my wearables, because I want to accelerate my accumulation.
Love it. Well, hey, I want to throw some love to some of the folks in the chat here, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it on up. Dwag, Freeman, Ice Cube, Dotto, no idea what that one is. Andrew, AK Master, Jason, Lewis, Jack, Core, all of y'all totally rock. Really appreciate you all for tuning in live, being here, and yeah, really love you guys. Thanks for showing up in the live stream. AdioKing, I want to thank you so much. You're the man. I appreciate you coming on, sharing a lot of time, sharing a lot of knowledge. I really like how you're approaching your guild and being an owner. And I think we can all learn a lot of lessons from the level of calculation and how just prepared you are. And yeah, man, I just want to say thank you. And just want to invite you to share any last thoughts, ideas, or any slices of alpha you got.
Yeah. You kind of hit something for me on that last part where, maybe I'm changing the game a little bit for the guild owners. I think that there might be a point in time in the future where I might create a team that offers outsourced guild management, where you don't need to go find your own guild manager. You don't need to go worry about that person getting sick or this and that. I might just, do all that and then outsource that for a fee. So there's people out there who have 5 or 10 wearables and they can't find a good manager who's not already working for someone else or something. Like, follow me on Twitter and be on the lookout, because if and when I do that, I will definitely announce it. I'm very active on Twitter.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Might have had the genesis of an idea happening live on the show. Anyways, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate you coming on the show. Everybody who's watching and listening, I appreciate you all. Make sure to stay active in the DG community and show some love to the folks who are doing all the heavy lifting here. These people are amazing. We're all truly grateful to have them. And then, everybody is part of the community. I'm very grateful for all of you because we all do this together. We're all in it together. So thank you, AdioKing. Appreciate you. Everybody's listening and watching. I will see you all on the next episode.